I'm Dominic.
I'm Erica, and this is Tea and a Butty.
Yes.
That's B-U-T-T-Y, by the way.
Yeah, just in case you were confused.
Tea with your buddies.
Tea with your buddies, buddies with your tea, whatever. You're listening to us, I hope. This episode's all about top 10 things that Americans do that are weird to like British people.
We don't do weird things.
Yeah, you do.
We're not weird.
You're big weirdos, you are.
We are not weird.
Yes, you are. You're huge. You've got 50 states.
We're cool.
What's all that about,
We're
eh?
cool. And everyone wants to be us. Oh, God.
Okay, Alan Partridge.
I can just imagine, like, people throwing tomatoes and, like, dodging them. No. They're
We're
like,
cool.
Get out of here. Get out.
Everyone wants to be us. Stop talking about American things and let's watch the best film ever made.
Hey, we'll have to do an episode about Alan Partridge.
Yeah, Alan Partridge is back. He's back on the BBC. Okay. But anyway.
Speaking of weird, anyway.
I've got my list.
I don't see how you could have come up with anything, really, though. I mean, what do we do that's weird?
You're big weirdos. That's what you are.
Yeah, I'm really interested to hear this. So.
Number one is putting so much ice in your drinks.
Oh.
Yeah. Big weird. It's like, why put so much ice in your drink? For God's sake. I mean, it comes out of the thing cold.
At, like, restaurants or
fast food places, you know, you go, oh, I have to, every time I go, I have to go easy on the ice, but they still don't bloody listen. They shove the ice in.
I mean, that's easily answered. I don't think it's weird. I think it's just that they're cheating you out of your drink.
They are cheating. So there you go. Top 10 things Americans do that's to cheat everyone out of their freaking drink.
There'd probably be more to put on that list, actually.
No, I mean, it's just like, it comes out of the... Because, you know, it's now a condition where people think, oh, I've got to have a lot of ice because it won't be cold otherwise.
Well,
and it's like,
I mean,
no, it's refrigerated. The Coke is refrigerated.
Or something like that. Iced tea or lemonade or whatever. Yeah, I guess I do tend to fill the glass with a lot of ice. If it's hot outside. If it's really hot.
The tea has been freshly made. You have to heat up the water to make it.
I don't know. I mean, I think I do it even if I pull, like, the pitcher of tea out of the refrigerator. I think
I don't. I mean, a lot of the times I don't have it. And I think your mother said even, oh, it was nice to not have ice in the Coke.
Yeah, this kind of thing. It clinks up against your teeth.
And it's if you've got sensitive teeth. I mean, I've got slightly sensitive teeth. You know, it's like, oh, you know, it's too cold. You know, You have to use a straw.
Yeah.
Usually I don't. You know, I just drink it straight from the glass.
But so yeah, I mean, they're just cheating you basically.
They're just they are because they put literally like a tiny bit of it in, and then you drink it all, and you're just like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Because the ice hasn't melted.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, that's a weird thing. Another weird thing is the tipping culture. Number 2 on my list.
Yeah.
Tipping. I mean, this could be just kind of like weird things. But it's also kind of like,
annoying things.
I know, well, annoying things. I mean, tipping, it's like, on one hand, it's like, oh, yeah, it's, you know, it's for the employees and stuff like that, you know, but it's like, it's up to the people who employ them to pay them decent wages.
Right. I mean, a tip should be a tip.
We're paying, it's kind of like a tip is a tip. Only if you want to do it, you know. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, yeah, she was nice, or he was nice.
Yeah,
you know,
so I can see coming from
give him a tip.
I can see coming from another country, you would find that weird that you're expected to tip.
It's expected, and it's
whether
like,
the service was crap or not. You know, you're expected to like, oh, you didn't leave a tip. Oh, you cheapskate. You know,
you bloody cheapskate! How dare you?
Because I'm trying to think. Is the food cheaper here? I mean, it's not really.
I don't think it is. No, not really.
It's about the same.
It's about the same.
Relatively speaking.
It's just that the servers don't get paid near enough. I mean, I understand why there's that tipping culture now, because it makes up.
Yeah, but
it's still a case of then, you know.
Why? I mean, is it to motivate them to work harder? Because I mean, we have had that discussion, I think.
It's not only, it's just like, oh yeah, so I can make more of a profit.
In our restaurant podcast, by the way, I think it was a food and drink series. We did a restaurants episode.
Yeah.
Where I think that's where we discussed the tipping culture and how service is reflective of whether they're getting a tip or not.
I mean, I didn't put that on the thing, but the over-attentive servers are another weird thing. I mean, that's...
But that's because they want a good tip.
They want a good tip. You know, sometimes, I mean, Very rarely, though,
Mm-hmm.
has it been, like, not really up to par, Like
Well, you know what? We have a restaurant here in Austin. I mean, I know you know it, called Kirby Lane.
Yeah.
And as long as I've lived in Austin, the service has been complete crap. But, we keep going back there because the food is
Sometimes
good.
it's been good. I mean, I find that, you say, oh, it's been complete crap. It's da 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 da. I find it the best service I've ever had in a restaurant. Honestly. I mean, even when it's really crap, to the point,
I mean, sometimes
it's really good.
You can't find the waiter, and it's like you're sitting there with, used to it was worse than it is now because they've expanded, and I think they're like taking a bit more pride in themselves. Yeah. They're like, yeah. But used to, it was like you would sit there forever, and you think these people are working for tips, but obviously they do not care. And there are some restaurants over here that pay their wait staff a good wage, and so it's yeah.
So I mean, a tip is very much a bonus.
Yeah,
and I expect those places have like that, the tip jar that just goes, it's distributed equally no matter who worked that night.
In that food series, the episode I was just talking about, we talked about how in Britain, because they're not getting tips a lot of the times, or tips are not expected, you don't really see the staff. But you would think that over here or over there, even if they were being paid a decent wage,
they'd do their job.
They would you would think they would want the extra, like they would want the tip. They would want they would want to work hard so that people might give them.
I don't know
tip.
if it's like I don't know if it's,
and then they'll take home like even more money.
Of some restaurants or whatever, but I do remember we had this waitress at this restaurant. I can't remember who it was, but someone had just been over here, one of my friends, and he'd just been to Florida or something, because all British people go to Florida for the holiday. I know he came back and he was like, oh, I should leave her a tip because that's what we were doing in Florida. And she was like, no, don't do it. No, no, please. Oh, no, it's okay. No, you don't have to do it. No. And she was getting all like flustered and stuff because it's a case of like, it's not expected, and I'm probably sure, like they'll be like, oh, what? You just took money off that customer. And
a funny thing, because you're talking about tipping. This does not just go with restaurants, though, especially like if you go to somewhere like New York City, or even if you're just in a big city in general, you can be expected to tip like taxi drivers, doormen. Why should I tip a taxi driver for doing their job? I do not understand that whatsoever. Yes. It's like they haven't given me exceptional service somehow. I mean, unless they like their car is super, super clean, and like maybe they give me
maybe they were nice. They're just a nice person.
And so I'm going to give them a tip for being a nice person. I don't know. I find it really weird. Yeah, they tip doormen. They tip, I think in New York City, people who live there, they tip like even their, I think they tip like their postmen, people who deliver packages. Yeah. They tip people who pick up their laundry or whatever, things like that, services like that.
It's
just
an
anything
endless
that's
cycle, really.
It's like, give them a tip, a tip, a tip, a tip, a tip.
It's an endless cycle. I mean, we could go on about this forever.
Yeah, so coming from another country, I can definitely see how that is a weird thing, yeah.
Number 3, though, is another weird thing that I've seen on TV and on billboards over here. Advertising with lawyers, solicitors advertising their business, and prescription drugs.
Oh, God, yes.
Being... almost every commercial is for like
I'm American,
a prescription
and I find
drugs.
That weird.
It's really weird because I mean they list all the side effects, which include death. Which may include death, and it's like talk to your doctor about Zaresto or Capilol or whatever, some stupid name for heart disease or something. It's like atrial fibrillation or whatever.
Xarelto.
They had Arnold Palmer doing those. It's weird. And the advertising. Have you been involved in a car accident? Do you need help? Call Funk and Associates or whatever. That's one of them.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Not sponsored, by the way, but, it's just, that's one of them. And it's just so weird because it's like you never see that in Britain. You never see... I mean, you can see insurance companies.
Yeah.
Like Direct Line and, yeah, it was Direct Line, because Direct Line get Harvey Keitel in their adverts. Well, they used to anyway.
Yeah. But in Britain, you don't really even have local television commercials, really, do you?
We have regional.
Like for things that are just in your city specifically?
No. I mean, we're so small on that scale, so it's like, like, many Americans who are listening to this, who aren't in Austin won't know who FUNK is, or... But I'm sure they'll know about Xarelto and all that, because that's probably national.
Yeah. Like I said, being American...
It's weird.
Being American,
and on the
I think
billboards,
that's weird.
too. It's like,
The
lawyer that rocks. It's like Austin people, if Austin people are listening to this, they'll know who I'm talking about. But it's like, it's just so weird. It's just like, why are you advertising like that? It's like, just, be a lawyer. With a gimmick.
The prescription drugs, I find it a bit sinister, really, because they're talking people who possibly are just hypochondriacs at home. Thinking,
yes.
They're saying, oh, do you have this? And people are going, oh, yes, I do. Well, you talk to your doctor because you might need this medicine. And it's like, it's almost like sort of a brainwashing thing.
Well, yeah.
People are like, oh my God, I might have that. And I need to go to the doctor. And like,
I was looking at that commercial the other day for Xarelto. And, oh yeah, I think I might need that. And, it might be a doctor that's getting a kickback,
Why did you just do that in Baldrick's voice?
You did. I think I might need that. That was Baldrick's voice. You were doing it in Baldrick's voice.
Oh my God. Too much Blackadder.
Yes.
No, shouldn't that be the doctor's job to like prescribe you medication that's necessary?
I mean, with the doctor, with the NHS, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Because, it's like everything's kind of nationalized, so the doctors get it, and, so that's probably why there's no...
Yeah, well, that just shows
the NHS went away, then we'd probably start getting...
That just shows you how much the prescription drug companies make. How much influence they have, how much... Yeah, unbelievable, really. Yeah, that's definitely, weird even to me.
Number 4, anyway, moving swiftly along. Number 4 is rarely take vacations.
Yeah.
That's something I don't understand. People working all the time. And it's
and
like, oh, you want to go? Nah.
And maybe having vacation. Maybe they even have paid vacation and they don't take it. Over here,
it's yeah. No wonder you're shooting yourself. It's like, it is. It's like, you got to,
That took a dark turn.
It was a dark turn. It's like, because there's a lot of people who probably, it's like, oh, I got so much work, and then boom, it's like...
Yeah.
It's like, you should have taken that vacation, Bob,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, it's like, you're going crazy.
Yeah,
It's another thing of the work-life
balance. Yeah. I don't really have an explanation for that either, because I don't see that it's possible that it's more competitive over here than it is anywhere else, and yet elsewhere
they've managed to get
vacations. Like,
it's just rarely. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just very weird to me that
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's not another number, but owning a passport, not owning a passport is another weird thing.
That's why they don't take vacations. They can't go anywhere.
Go anywhere. So why bother? Number 5 is flying the flag everywhere. The patriotism.
Yeah.
That, obviously started by the Mel Gibson film.
Oh, obviously, yes.
So everybody flies their flag for Mel Gibson. Because of the patriot.
No, you and I have had discussions about this. I don't know. And it's, for me...
They fly flags everywhere. Just driving down the street, you'll see it in a dealership. The American flag. It's usually the U.S. flag.
We're very proud. We're a very proud country, yeah.
Very proud.
We're proud of our...
Because, in Britain, it's just not the done thing.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll have them on the palaces or like
you have them on Buckingham Palace
and stuff like that.
Buckhouse.
Buckhouse, and you'll have them on like castles and stuff.
Yeah,
and maybe official buildings like
government buildings,
town hall or something.
Yeah.
Or the county council buildings.
It's funny to me that you find that weird, though. Like, I think that's a discussion unto itself.
Yeah.
Which we have had, but I don't. I mean, let us know in the comments, guys, or tweet us.
Do you fly your flag outside your house?
Yeah.
There you go, outside the house. Because in England, right,
mm-hmm.
you see someone flying the English flag, you're a little bit like, oh.
They're like
they're
a nationalist or something.
Yeah, they're a national. They're an EDL person. They're the people who voted Brexit, and they're a bit like, oh, get the.
But it's not. But it's not the same
get the
over
people
here.
out of the country.
That's not true.
It's not the same, but it's like that's how it's applied in like maybe in British people's minds. It's like, oh, they're all like, yeah.
It's just that we're just proud of our country, and I think it's
and it is proud, and it is proud, and I mean. The people who do it in England are proud too, but it's like it's seen as a bit of a like a.
I know, but I think that to me that is weird. Like, why not? Why not be? Because you are you. The thing about
we
British
drink tea,
people.
and that's
yes,
it.
Yes, no. There you go. British people are just as proud of their country.
We should do,
they just don't fly
what Britain
the flag.
should do is have the flag on the kettle, and that's it.
No,
that's how they'll show their patriotism.
You guys hold fast to your traditions, really. And you guys like to say, "Oh no, we're not as crazy patriotic as America. Oh, they're just crazy with their national anthem and their pledge allegiance to the flag and all of that." But
yeah, the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah, that's a bit weird. That's another weird one.
But it's like you guys are proud of your country as well. You just don't want to admit it.
You just show it in a different way.
You show it in many different ways, and really, or maybe
do it
more,
subtly.
Yes, well, subtly, but yeah, maybe I think that maybe you guys are more hardcore about it than we even are over here.
Maybe so. Yeah.
It's just very subtle.
Yeah.
Very on the DL.
On the down low.
Yes.
Number 6 is road sizes.
Road sizes.
Yes,
okay.
road sizes, like the size of like highways, the size of like our street
But
outside.
why is that weird?
That is weird.
Why is that weird?
Why do you need that big of a space? It's like how many cars are coming down that road? You could probably fit side by side. You could probably fit about 4 cars. And
it's nice though, isn't it?
It's really nice.
So
you have so much space to drive. It's like you can swerve and you won't hit nothing for miles.
Bicycles have space to
it's
go
like we
down
can't
the
do
side.
that in Britain because everything's so small and
Yeah.
and it's like
And we
if
have
you
the space,
swerve,
so
you're
we
going
do
in
it.
someone's house.
Yeah. And we have the space, so
you have the space.
we do it.
But it's a bit weird. It's like, why do you need that much space? Why not just? You could have used that space a bit more wisely.
Mm.
You could have put some shops there. You could have put some,
in the middle of the road. You could put some shops in the middle of the road
Yeah.
instead of just
It's
having
just-
a road there.
I mean, just and it's like the size of the roads, and then you got I got to build a bigger car,
Yeah.
and even the car is like not that big, compared to the size of the road.
I mean,
I mean, it's something for British people who've been to America, and they've driven on a highway, like I-35, or even just down a road, like a slip road, what we call like a frontage road or whatever they call it here.
Mm.
It's like the lanes are huge. They're just huge.
Yeah.
So it's like.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you go downtown, they're not as wide.
No, they're not.
And that's because the downtown area is an older area.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, before cars or before so many people and so much traffic.
Yeah.
I
suppose so, yeah.
So most downtown, which I know British people, town centers, there you go.
Town centers,
I was trying to
yeah,
think of
there
the
we
word
go.
that British people use instead of downtown. Most town centers of cities or towns even around America are going to be small like that for people to be able to walk around, because people used to walk more than they do now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so most of them are more compact, and therefore the roads are tighter. The lanes are, you don't really have a lot of space. Like, I mean, you've been downtown here. It's just like when we drive in the lanes downtown, it's like you don't have the room to
don't
like
have
swerve.
the room
You're
to
just
you don't
in
have
your
the room to
lane.
maneuver. No.
No. You're just in your lane, and that's it. But you go out farther where things are a bit newer and people have realized
into the countryside.
There's more traffic. There are more people now. You know, we just need to spread things out a bit so that everything's not as congested.
Yeah.
That's it. I
don't
find that weird.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. No, number 7 though is really weird. Sales tax. What's all that about?
Yeah, that's really it is complicated.
It's complicated. I mean, you know, it's like people go, oh well, because states have different sales, right?
Not even just states, cities. Cities have their own sales tax rates.
But still, it's like, why not include it in the price of the thing, you know, that you're paying on the shelf?
Yeah.
It's like, again, it could be another thing of cheating people out of their money.
Because when you go to Britain...
When you go to Britain, everything is included in the price that you pay.
Right.
The VAT is what we call it. The tax, is what you pay.
Right.
It's like, because every time we'd go to like Poundland or something, and I'd say, well, you can go up and pay for it, you know, you can use the money, you know. You can
like, I don't know how to do the
change.
I
don't know how to do the change. And I'm like, well, we've got £1. They're going to give you it's 99p. They're going to give you a penny change. And they're like, oh no, it's going to be more. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's like 99p is what it is.
Or it's like, no, it's not 99p. It's £1.
It's a pound. It's a pound. It's a pound. Yeah. Yeah, it's £1. So here's £1. Go up and do it. And you're like, oh, and you know, I think you thought when I did that in Poundland that I was just messing with you, and you were going to be like, oh, I need more money or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But you did it. You grabbed it, and then you went out and you go, it really was £1. You were just so surprised. You came up to me as like, oh, it really was £1. And I'm like, yeah.
Change, or I didn't have to. Yeah.
You didn't have, you know, because, I mean, you go over here and something's $1.
Mm-hmm.
And you go up to the thing and suddenly it's $1.08. And I'm like, what? You know, the first time I got here, that was so weird.
Yeah.
Because I went, oh, it's $1.08. And I'm like, what? I think I even went, what? Because I don't think I'd done any research or anything on that.
And I probably hadn't even like
thought about it.
Yeah.
What? $1.08? And then she was, yeah, tax.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was taxed from the shelf to here. So what's going on? And, you know, she didn't really explain about it. She just said, give me the $1.08 or whatever it was.
So I don't...
So I was just like, oh, I gave her $2 and, you know, she gave me change or whatever. But it was just like, I don't know. I was like, what is all that about? And, oh, it's sales tax. Yes. It's like, why are they adding it at the till? You know?
So I don't have an explanation as to why it's different everywhere other than just states make their own laws, and you know, we have all the different government systems. It's just such a big country. It's like, how are you existing, right? Yeah,
as one entity?
I mean, that's why it can't be factored into the price, though, is because it's different state to state, city to city, county to county, you know. It just depends on what it is. It's like, so that's why it just literally cannot be factored into the price, because especially if you have someone like Walmart or something like that that's big and is countrywide. Now if you had just a little local mom and pop store that was just here in Austin, let's say, I don't see any reason why they couldn't just put the price on the shelf for whatever it is.
Yeah, they could do it and just figure it out themselves later for the tax.
Yeah. No, just factor the tax into it is what I mean.
Yeah, that's what I think is like, why, you know.
Because they don't have any other locations that they have to deal with different tax rates or anything like that. So, I mean, in theory, I think that they should be able to do that.
Yeah.
But the big chains... They just can't.
They just can't.
There's no way for them. There would be no way. And I have no idea why. It was just to make things complicated.
To make things complicated. It's another weird thing that Americans do. But anyway, number 8 is toilet stalls.
Toilet stalls?
Yeah, because you go into the toilet here, and it's like...
I see, yeah.
there's a gap in the floor and there's a gap there, and sometimes there's a little gap between the door, and it's like you could make eye contact with someone.
Yes,
and it's like, oh, it might be to discourage like public drug use or whatever, or something going on, but it's like, it's still like someone could come in and like, especially in the ladies, it's like someone could come in and stick their head underneath.
Yeah, I've always hated it.
Whatever, and see you, it's weird.
And you know what? It is weird. Yeah, I agree with that, and I've never liked it. And you know what? I've never taken you into an elementary school here, obviously, or I don't think probably maybe even mentioned this to you. But when I was in elementary school, I don't know if it's still the same because it's been a long time since I've been to an elementary school. When I was in elementary school, though, they're even shorter because, like, you're a kid and you're little. But
so adults using it.
I don't know if the teachers had their own restrooms. Maybe they did.
Surely
I don't remember, but they were short. But so, like, okay, it's okay when you're like in second grade, but by the time you're in fifth grade and you're much taller, it's like you can almost see over the top of those things. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think it's a cheap thing.
It's a cheap thing.
It's a cost cutting thing.
It's weird and it's just cheap, and it's just like
it's so nice when you go into a restroom that has like floor to ceiling stalls with a door, walls with a door that closes.
That locks pretty well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, yeah.
Oh, that's another reason maybe they don't, because like, although all you would need is...
If you get trapped in there.
Yeah, if you get trapped, if something happened to someone in there, you wouldn't be able to get in, like, whereas the stalls that we have, you can just crawl under if you had to, but surely, I mean, how difficult would it be to just have like a master lock or something that could just open all the stalls?
It's a locksmith, yeah.
Locksmith, yeah. So yeah, that is weird and gross.
Moving along, number 9 is smiling and waving at strangers. It's a weird thing that you do. It's just like, you're walking down the road, you're smiling, and you're like, at strangers. Like, do you know them? No, I'm just smiling and waving at them. It's cute.
It's called being friendly, okay?
Yeah, but you see, it's like you're taught not to talk to strangers, but yet you can smile and wave at them. It's fine.
Tell them good morning, or...
Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's not so weird, but...
How are you,
It was weird to me. Coming over here, like you'd be waving at some random guy in his car or whatever, because he waved...
Did you know him? No.
Because he waved at me.
Why'd you wave at him? Oh, he waved at me, yeah. What am I supposed to do? Like, flip him off or what?
Or just not wave back, just go... Give him a face like, oh, what are you waving at me for? I don't know you, mate.
Oh, it's being friendly, so weird to the British.
Yes. Cold and detached and just don't talk to anyone.
It's not true, though, because in like Liverpool in the north or whatever, I remember people going, "You all right?" When we'd pass them on we'd pass them on the sidewalk or whatever, and they'd just nod or, "You all right?"
You'd pointing at them saying cute because of their accent. Yes. I know all about you.
Yes.
Number 10, free refills.
You love that.
I do love it, but it's weird.
You can't call it weird if you love it.
It's weird.
You love it.
I do love it. Free refills on soda and stuff like that is, I mean, how can they...
Water,
I mean, you keep saying, oh, it costs them nothing for that. It costs them nothing. And I'm like, how does it cost them nothing?
Well, because they buy those things like by the barrel, and so it costs them like
20 cents?
No, it would cost them like pennies for the amount that they give you in a cup, So
I suppose so.
So especially
I don't know why it doesn't happen in Britain though, because I mean you get charged for every time. Except I think in Nando's or something you can get, but they monitor you to make sure.
Their profit margin is way more on drinks than it is on food. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because it costs them literally pennies for a cup, and so then they're charging $1 something for it, and it's just like, yeah, and they're selling so many of those, especially like in a fast food place, people might come in just for a drink, go through the drive-through just to get a soda or something. Yeah, so it's just like,
It's for the syrup and everything, yeah. Mm-hmm. The barrel of syrup and then the water and...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, I love it.
So they don't. So even like in a restaurant where they have reusable glasses and it's not like a paper cup that's going to be thrown away or something, that costs them even less because they're not having to. They've only had to pay for that cup once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So restaurants, I imagine their profit margin is even more than like a fast food place where they're having to pay for the cups, the lids, the straws, everything for each drink. So, anyway.
So that's it. Yeah. Thank you for that. The expert there.
Well, I mean, I'm just
telling me things, just informing me on why it's not weird. I mean, it's weird, but I do like it. I do. It's weird, but
I find it weird that you don't get free refills. Okay, so that go back to the previous podcast where I don't know what I can trade out, but that's weird that you don't get free refills in Britain. Okay?
Yeah, it is a bit weird. I mean, some places do now. I think they'll give you like maybe. I mean, Nando's.
Because they
I know
just keep all their soda fountains behind the counter.
Behind the counter, usually Nando's is the
right?
only one that doesn't do that. Because I remember when we went back there.
I remember you and I went to Subway once, and they had the soda machine out.
Oh, that's right.
And I drank mine, and I was going to go back and get some more.
And you were like, no,
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I was like, don't do it. Yeah, because they'll get really wound up about it.
And I was
and
like,
they didn't,
what?
did they?
I was like, they have it out here. So, like, I was like, no, I'm going to do it because it's
I think
right.
you did it. And I don't
they
think
didn't say anything to me now.
No, I don't think they did. And I thought, did they start doing free refills? What's going on here? Because, I would have got shouted at if I'd gone back. But if it was me and I'd gone to get, I was like, oh, you haven't paid for that, mate.
That Dominic, get him out of here. Get him out.
Get him out.
No, I mean, to me, it's like, if the soda fountain is out where the public can get to it, then you can get free refills.
It's a free-for-all, yeah.
Otherwise, they keep it behind the counter, and it's like...
Because, I mean, people are, you get the homeless people and stuff like that, and they buy a cup, and they've bought a cup, like, years ago. And they come into Wendy's.
They just kept it pristine all this time.
They come and they go, oh, I got one, and they were like, oh, no, I see you come out of the street,
Yeah.
Because sometimes they do that. I've seen them at Wendy's. Or maybe it was Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box, I think.
And it was this guy, he came in the street and he was trying to sneak a Coke. He had it, and he was like, nah, you didn't pay for that. You didn't, you're coming in here every day and you're not buying anything and you're just getting a Coke. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they do keep on top of it, but I'm just like, every time I go up for a free refill, it's in the back of my mind, someone's going to shout at me, you didn't pay for that. It's like, it's like every...
Oh, God.
It's like, hey, what are you doing?
Like you're stealing.
Like a steal, like you would, yeah.
Something.
Stealing freaking drink. It's weird. But anyway, yeah.
You're weird.
You're weird. With your free refills. Everything for free except health.
Yeah.
You have to pay for that. So, that's been the end. Thank you very much.
That's it, yeah. I think
we're
done.
We're done. Tweet us, Facebook us, Tina Butty, Instagram, website, buy us a coffee.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time for some
more weird things.
Or it may not be
not
weird.
Really.
Not really.
I mean, we say that, but I think we're always kind of weird, so.
Tell us your weird things anyway.
Yeah. Just anything. Anything you find weird about.
Anything you find weird about
life.
Britain or America or life. Just going through life and you think, this is so weird. Why am I doing this? Tell us about it.
Tell us how weird we are. Please don't.
Please do, actually. I'd love to hear about it.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.